Hey everyone, we are going to get started in just a second with our Advocacy Day presentation. We're just waiting to make sure we are live on Facebook, and we'll start in just a minute. Okay, let's see. So hang tight. We're about to talk about Advocacy Day and what to expect. We should be streaming. Yep, it looks like we're live. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So thanks for joining us today. I'm Jackie Benasante, and I'm the Executive Director at Autism Society of Texas. I'm going to be helping you get ready for Advocacy Day. And then Dalton, do you want to introduce yourself too?
Hi everyone. My name is Dalton Kendrick. I'm a current Lind intern with the Autism Consortium of Texas, and I'm currently doing a practicum doing policy here at the Autism Society of Texas.
Thanks. All right. So before we get really started, we just really wanted to urge everybody about getting involved and how to get involved and why it's important. And I think, as y'all know, as either parents of children with autism, or if you're autistic yourself, or you're just connected to the Autism Society, you've seen and heard a lot of things going on right now, both federally and at the Texas state legislature. So we're trying to stay on top of all of that, and we have quite a few resources to do it. So we put some links in here. We'll be putting them in the chat and Facebook as well. And this will be posted on our website under Advocacy 101 after the presentation. So first, you can subscribe to our alerts. We send alerts out, just emails, usually on a Sunday or over the weekend, about what's coming up on the week ahead as far as hearings, or we'll send advocacy alerts. Our national organization, Autism Society of America, does a lot of federal public policy, and they have an action alert system that you can sign up for, and Capital Connection, a newsletter. And then we have many online advocacy training resources. So if you want more information, or you're nervous about doing public policy things, then we can certainly point you in that direction. And then some of our legislative issues are here on our website. And we'll continually update that. We're not talking about those today. We're talking about logistics, and how like the Capitol works and things like that. Our position statements are here, and then we've got our link to register for Advocacy Day. So if you're not registered yet, it's not too late. And then our schedule today, we're going to talk about what to wear. You'll actually get a t-shirt, where you'll go, office visits, and at the time we'll have time for some questions. If you want to post them in the chat, me and Dalton will answer them. And then there's a registration link at the end again as well. And I know we'll paste that in the Facebook chat. So I can cover the schedule of events first, and then we'll look at parking. So this truly is going to be what to expect, where to go. So first of all, you're going to arrive at the Capitol and check in. We'll show you in a minute. The parking lot is a few minutes walk from the Capitol, and the Capitol itself is pretty big. So you're going to want to give yourself at least 10 to 15 minutes to probably park and walk over. And then in the morning, we'll be in the Extension Auditorium talking about policy issues and advocacy training. So we'll teach you about the issues. We'll also talk a little bit about making office visits. We'll all walk to another building for lunch. We'll go as a group, so nobody's getting lost. We'll also give you a map. Then we'll come back over to the Capitol. The lunch place is just across the street from the back of the Capitol. We'll walk back in and we'll go for our office visits. And then in the afternoon, we'll all make our office visits, and visits will be assigned for you. So you'll have a list of room numbers and offices to go visit, and a map. And then after your group's last appointment, you're going to come back to where you started, which is the big auditorium that we'll have all day. And you can give us any information or material, or if you took notes or anything, just provide us with that, and one of our team will be there. And then next, I think I'm covering what to wear, so I will go ahead. So everybody that registered so far is getting this awesome Make Texas Inclusive t-shirt. So it's included in your registration. We still have a few left. Our big deadline to order the t-shirts was Monday night, but we did order some extras. So the sooner you register, the more likely you are to get a t-shirt, because we definitely still have some. We'll be handing the t-shirts out during check-in. And you can really wear whatever you're most comfortable in. So we know some people may have sensory issues that are attending. You're walking a lot, so wear shoes that you can walk in. It's totally okay to wear tennis shoes or flat shoes, but definitely, wear something that the floors are hard and you'll be walking a lot. So you can wear your t-shirt and then whatever, bottoms you feel you want to wear. Generally avoid things with rips and stuff, but otherwise anything that you would normally wear to an office or somewhere like a nice restaurant, it would be fine. And some people even wear jeans or sweatpants with their Advocacy Day t-shirt. So really it's just, be comfortable. There are restrooms available on E1, kind of near where we're going to be to change. And then the accessible restrooms are located on floor E2. And then let's just scroll to the next one. And then I just kind of included a picture here, but this is from our 2023 event. And you can see people were wearing a variety of things. Everyone's pretty much got comfortable shoes on, so that was good. But so you'll wear your t-shirt, and then you'll just wear whatever you're most comfortable in, and that way everyone knows you're there for Advocacy Day, and you're representing the needs of people with autism. So it makes it clear. Then, Dalton, do you want to take over and explain parking situation?
Yeah, absolutely. I can take over. So there is parking. As Jackie mentioned, it's about a 10-ish minute walk, depending from the Capitol. If you look at the map on the right, where the star is where the parking garage is. It's 1201 San Jacinto Boulevard. This is accessible. They do have accessible parking there, which is really great. Um, and I think if you get on Google Maps, I think if you just look up Capitol Visitor Parking Garage, it should just come up from there.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So when you pull up to it, this is what it'll kind of look like. And then yeah, so here on Google Maps, we can see you'll just enter park. Parking is um, I think we estimate it to be about $12 for how long we're going to be there. I think the max for the day is, or I think we estimate it to be about 10, but the max for the day is 12. So it'll
Yes.
be no more than $12. So it's if you're carpooling, it's great. You can split it a little. And then when you exit the parking garage, with the best way to when you go out, sometimes you can kind of see the Capitol Dome from it. But right behind the parking garage, there's this building right here with kind of six seals on it. The Capitol is directly behind that. So if you just cross this crosswalk and just keep going, and then you just keep going, and there's a little end way to just kind of follow around to get to the Capitol. You'll It'll be more than likely be kind of busy while we're there, so usually you can kind of follow a flock of people. And I think we're going to try and put someone over in that area to hopefully kind of direct people.
I think we'll have a person on each corner of the parking lot. So when you come out of the parking lot, hopefully you'll either see the top of the dome or you'll see that building that we just showed you with the six seals on it. But you're going to walk in that direction. And once you can see the Capitol, pretty much all paths here lead to the Capitol. So once you can see it, just walk towards it and you'll see there's like two or three, there's a few different pathways approaching from this side to get in. So but yeah, go ahead. You can just Google the Capitol Visitors Parking and it'll take you right there. And then let me put it back in slideshow mode here. Yeah, Dalton, did you want to say anything else about the parking garage or the entrances here?
I don't think on this one. I think we talk about the accessibility routes.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you're walking towards the Capitol, you can enter from any four directions, any four sides. So you'll come approach on the west side from where the parking garage is, and you can walk straight in from there. But if you do have accessibility needs, the accessible entrance is on the north side, which they have these handy little blockers that point you in the right direction, and there's a wheelchair ramp on the front side of the building.
Yeah. Wait, is there a wheelchair on the ramp? There's a wheelchair ramp on the front as well? Or you mean at the north entrance?
Or on the north entrance. Yes, that's what I
Okay,
meant.
good, good. Because I think of the
Yeah.
north entrance, if you're not great with directions, which I am not, but
Mhm.
the north entrance is the back. So only the back of the Capitol has the wheelchair ramp. But if you're not needing that, you can go in any side. Every single side of the Capitol has security, which you'll also have to go through, and we have a photo of that. But only the north entrance, which is in the back, has the actual ramp. And then you know what? Yeah, that's good. And then once you get in, everyone goes through security, and there is security at every entrance. So you'll just have to take everything out or put your bag in, computer, phones, everything like that, kind of like airport security. You just walk through. Um, and then as far as getting in, once you're in, depending on wherever you come in from, this is what it looks like inside the rotunda. So you're under the big dome here, and all security, like when you go through security and then you keep walking, you're going to end up here at the beginning. So you'll actually, I hadn't noticed this until yesterday, but there's actually a little clock there, and you're going to want to go, we're going to go down to the extension auditorium. And it is on E1, and you'll have to take an elevator from there. There's one elevator that goes down to the extension. So when you're in the big rotunda, you're going to want to look for the clock, and then there's an elevator bank right through the little doorway where this clock is. So you're going to want to take those elevators down. We'll also have at least one volunteer in the rotunda with an Autism Society t-shirt on. So if you're lost, you can ask them. We'll also maybe have someone directing people on how to take the stairs as well. But the accessible route and the elevator would be right here through this clock. Um, and then Dalton, if you have anything to add, feel free to jump in as well. Let me just see.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it. So the way the Capitol is set up is a little weird. So the elevator on the north side that Jackie just talked about, that allows you to access the four floors and the two extensions, which are below. Um, and then there's other elevators that can kind of only reach certain ones. So we just will have like we said, go in, look for the clock, and that's that north elevator to get to all four to down to the extension.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly. So, and then here's an accessible map as well. So the north entrance is also the back. And then Yeah, and the elevators are here. Here's the rotunda. The elevators are these E, like marked here with an E. There's also bathrooms there, which is good to know where the bathrooms are. Um, and then let's just go to this is getting to the extension. So once you've come down the elevators, you'll actually go through a very long, narrow hallway, and the extension auditorium will be over here. So there's a couple of big things here. There's a dome, there's another sort of rotunda type thing here. And then on the left is the Capitol Grill, because you'll be coming from the elevators. The Capitol Grill is on the left and the auditorium's on the right. And we'll be in the main auditorium. And then this is kind of what it looks like. This is the long, narrow hallway between the two statues. That's where you'll come down. And the auditorium will be on one side, Capitol Grill on the other. But this is where you'll be in the extension building. And then once you get there, look out, we'll have our tablecloth. So once you're in that, gotten into the extension, should be easy to find, because we will have a huge tablecloth. We'll have friendly volunteers to help check in, or some of our staff. And we'll be handing out materials. You can see on the tables this from 2023 Advocacy Day, but we'll be handing out folders. So we'll have handouts for you to keep. And then we'll have handouts for you to give to legislators as well, and some capital maps, and you'll get your t-shirt. So you'll do all that at check-in. And then you'll sit in the extension auditorium here, and we'll have different guest speakers and presentations on the different legislation, and also do a quick overview of office visits. And now we're going to just kind of do a little bit of a talk about office visits. Dalton, do you want to go ahead and lead this one?
Yeah. So I think our goal currently is we're going to make at least one appointment for each group. And then I think we're going to try and find a couple of offices in the same area for people to just drop in whenever they have time between their appointments. Um, so you'll be meeting with either a member a legislator or a member of their staff, um, it's always best to try to get there a couple minutes early before your scheduled meeting time. Like we've mentioned a couple of times, it's the Capitol can be a little bit difficult to navigate. So give yourself some time. I know my first time I got very lost, so but I gave myself time and I was able to catch it. Whenever it comes time for your appointment to start, you'll just go in. You don't have to knock, but I always will give kind of a friendly knock as I'm opening the door, and just enter quietly and respectfully. Introduce yourselves and your group, who you're there with, and then just let them know who you're there to meet with. Which I think we're going to have on the information of who specifically you're meeting with if we have that information for the meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a good point, Dalton, because if we don't have a setup, so you may have like one or two scheduled appointments, and the other ones will just say, go talk to Representative Busey's office. And it means just drop in. And when you get there, you'll just tell them what you're doing. We'll give you this language in the morning. You'll just say, I'm here for Autism Advocacy Day. I'd like to talk to somebody about blah, blah issues. And you can pick one, or you and your group can decide of the handouts that we have if you want to talk to them about special education funding or vouchers or whatever. And then they'll probably say, just, wait a minute, and then we'll get somebody to talk to you. So otherwise, yeah, you'll have an assigned person, but if it's a drop-in visit, you'll just tell them what you're doing and then ask to speak with someone, and then they'll get the right person usually. And then let me see. Yep. Okay. Dalton, do you want to go over this too?
Yeah, sure. So whenever you go into offices, some of the offices are can be really, really small. So just kind of be mindful. You'll be in smaller groups of probably around five or so, maybe a little bit larger depending. So just be aware of kind of where y'all are in the office. They are in session, so they're working while you're there. So we just want to be mindful of kind of the space that we're taking up in their offices so people can get in and out as they need. Of course, be respectful and give them any material that we give y'all. So our one pagers on specific bills or our policy priorities, things like that. And really try to make the most of your time while you're in the offices. If you're able to kind of think of what you're going to say, sometimes it's best to have someone designated as the main person who's going to introduce the group and kind of go over everything. And then always try to allow a little bit of time towards the end for questions if they have them. They may not always have questions, but I always like to give a little bit of time in case they do.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. And then I put in some photos. These were actually, we have more office visit photos from 2019, but these were some of our groups. So you can see some people will bring their teens or young adults on the visits. And we've usually got a mix of like, therapy providers, parents, some adults with disabilities. And here's on the left is a group with Representative Busey. And then on the right, we've got a group, Seth sitting in the chairs with Representative Steve Allison there. And he was actually part of our advocacy committee a few years ago. And then Irma is a former board member with her son there. So you can see different groups are going around and meeting with, sometimes it's the legislators, but sometimes, as we said, it's the staff, but the staff know a lot. A lot of times the staff are the ones that are really in the weeds, reading through all the bills and legislation and all those kind of things. So obviously always be polite and thankful for anyone's time you get to meet with. And if you're able to grab a photo with a legislator, then that would be fantastic. And you can send it to us at the end too. So thank you. And then office do's and don'ts. Okay, and I think Dalton just covered some of this, but it's a good idea to kind of appoint someone as a designated speaker. Leave a fact sheet, which we'll give you in your folder. Try to take a photo with them. It could be the legislator or the staff, and thank them. You want to stick to topics related to autism and disability. So this isn't a good time if you have other issues or you're concerned about the environment, or you're mad at somebody about something else they did, those are all valid concerns. But at this one, when you're wearing your Advocacy Day t-shirt and you're there for autism, we're going to try to stick to those topics. Um, and then try not to show up late. It does happen, and if it does, apologize. It's okay. Just tell them, you're sorry. People are getting lost there all the time. Don't make up answers to questions. So if they say, oh, well, what's the repercussions of blah blah blah, if you don't know and you're not there to be a public policy expert, if this is, especially if this is your first time at the Capitol, just say, I'll get somebody from Autism Society of Texas to get back to you, and then let us know. So it's fine to say, I don't know, they're going to understand, and just be, really respectful, thank them for their time, and things like that. So should go smoothly. Dalton, do you want to talk through our frequently asked questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Some big questions I know have come up before is, and we've talked about it a little bit, what happens if I get lost or I'm having trouble finding the room? Um, we're gonna try and hopefully have some people stationed in specific areas, like in the rotunda. So look for people in the Autism Society or other people in the T-shirt that we showed. And sometimes other groups might have some people who are experienced and can help you lead. If not, we have a Google Voice number set up that'll be available during the time that we're doing capital or office visits, which is, I believe, between 1 and 3, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can call or text them, and one of us will get back to you and hopefully either meet you there or help try to guide you over the phone. Or if you can find a Capital staff member from an office, or if you're near an office, sometimes you can pop your head in and say hi. I'm lost, and usually the people there are really nice and they'll help point you in the right direction. Um, so yeah, just always give yourself a little bit of lead time. It's confusing. It's like an IKEA sometimes where you turn one way and then you can get lost pretty easily. Is lunch being provided and dietary restrictions? We are providing lunch, like we mentioned in the schedule. We'll walk together as a group to lunch. It's in a building right across from the Capitol. And if you do have any dietary restrictions, there's a section on the registration form for you to list them. Do we have a deadline, or just as long as they
Well,
register by the deadline for
yeah, we
restrictions?
are actually, we're going to move it to, I think it's going to be March 26th is the deadline to
Okay.
actually register and get your dietary requirements in, because with
Okay.
so the food places can get ready, and we can get all
Okay.
our materials ready as
Perfect.
well.
Yes. So yes, you will get lunch. It is included in the fee for registering. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. And then there's also some financial assistance to attend Advocacy Day. So if it's the $15 covers your registration fee, covers your t-shirt and your lunch. If that's financial hardship, we definitely can give you some scholarship. We can give you a scholarship for that. And also parking, or we may have some funds for gas reimbursement. So if you really want to attend and this is a financial hardship, please email Adriana there. And we'll try to help you out with discount codes and whatever we can do. So we want everyone to be able to attend. And then if we've got a couple of questions or comments so far, but if you have any questions about anything that we've talked about so far, go ahead and paste it in the chat. One question I can see right now is if this is being recorded and will it be available? So yes, we're recording this presentation. It's going to live here on Facebook, so you'll be able to watch it on Facebook anytime, but we'll also be putting it on our YouTube channel, and we will email it to everybody that's registered. So this will be available. And then, as I said, on our website is texasautismsociety.org. And then if you go to advocacy, under advocacy 101, and I think the the links may be in the chat as well, but there's a lot of training materials. There's a handout on how to make office visits. There's some little videos about what to expect making office visits. So if you are nervous or this is your first time, we've got a lot of resources to look at. A couple of comments also we got. Oh, somebody said, so excited for this day, and this is so helpful. Thank y'all for putting this together. So that's nice. Let me see if we have any other questions. I don't think so. I think we're good. This is our registration link. So as I said, we do still have some t-shirts. So if you want to register, please plan to join us. We'd love to have you. And then Dalton, did you have any other tips or comments before we wrap up?
I'm super excited. If you don't have to have any advocacy experience to come and attend, it's something that people bring their experience, which is more impactful than being super knowledgeable about specific bills. That's our responsibility, is to know all the specifics about bills. What we really love is people bringing their stories, and being able to give real impact of how this would affect you as a person, how this bill would directly impact you, or how have you seen this impact other people. That's really what we really need. Is we don't need people who are super policy heavy. If you are, that's great. But yeah, this it's not something to be super scared about. It's actually really fun.
Yeah, actually, I agree, Dalton. This is one of my favorite events. So, and I agree. I know a lot of people are nervous or they think they don't know enough about public policy, but you don't have to know it. You're really just there to share your personal experience. If you're a parent of a kiddo with autism, or if you're an autistic adult, you're really there to say firsthand, like, how's your experience been in public school, or how's your experience been trying to access therapy for your child, or are you on a wait list, or what kind of things are going on? Because when legislators hear those stories, they kind of connect more with the legislation. So we can definitely tell them about the legislation part, and they need to hear your stories. So we're excited to have everybody. It's definitely not too late to register. We're taking registrations all month still. So I think with that, let's see. Yeah, I think we're done. So we appreciate you all for joining us, and email if you have questions. This presentation is going to be online. We're putting all the links in the chat on Facebook as well. So anyway, thanks for watching this, and we're excited to see you at Advocacy Day. Thanks, everyone. Okay, hold on. Oh, are we still alive? I didn't know we're still alive. Okay, and we have another question. We actually had one more question, and it was, where can we reference the policies you're focused on? I'm glad you asked that. We're going to do another thing on March the 30th, which is a Sunday, and we'll share it here on Facebook, but we're going to talk about policies, and then under latest news, and we'll tag it in Advocacy Day as well, but there's actually a link where we've been updating our legislative priorities. I think it's also in the first slide. And I think that's yeah, so I would check our website, look under legislative issues, and it hopefully might be in the chat as well. And then let's see. Oh, someone put your passion and personal experience will be all you need to be successful for this day. So that's true. So somebody commented about that. So you're right. If you're all you need is your personal experience, just, be yourself and tell your story. So I think that actually is it now. I'm looking at my desktop too. I'm getting questions from multiple sources here. But I think we're good. So we will see everyone at the Capitol, and thank you so much for joining us. All right. Bye, everyone.